Good morning. Today I'm going to be doing a review of my AOA 4-inch fat bike e-bike conversion. We're going to walk through the features, how the bike came to me when I ordered it, and what things I added to it to make it what it is now. So let's get started. First off, I bought this AOA steel alloy framed 4-inch wide tire 26-inch fat bike off Amazon. There are others out there that are cheaper, but I felt like this was worth the extra money. I think it was $4.50 or something like that delivered, because it provided a much higher quality seat, suspension seat, than the others, and I thought the frame looked a lot more aggressive and cool. The next thing I did is I instantly bought the Viola Mart 1500 watt e-bike conversion kit, which included a 26-inch fat bike rim, a sprocket cassette, a zippered pouch for the speed controller, and the terminal block for the motor wiring. Going through some of that, I'll provide the drawing. The twist grip throttle with the power button and the battery meter, and that's it. Then the next thing I purchased is I purchased a 52 volt, not a 48 volt, the 52 volt 20 amp hour triangular lithium battery pack. This gave the conversion a little more kick. Some of the nice features on the battery pack are a battery level meter, a USB phone charging port, a separate on-off switch that actually is in parallel with the power button on the throttle. Actually, series. You have to have both of them on. The speed controller has your throttle connector, your e-brake handles. This e-brake handles here, your pedal assist sensor, which have not been hooked up, and the 750 watt limiter for state law compliance, which we'll get into that in a minute. Now there is a headlight out, but they fail to tell you that the headlight out is what the battery pack is. So unless you want to blow up your headlights, you're going to have to get a small buck converter, which I have hidden in here, that'll convert anything up to 72 volts down to 12 volts. And then the bike also came with a bell. Kind of funny given this very beastly massive frame and wheel size. I installed a high intensity CREE headlight. These things are amazing. On-off switch, which the light goes pulse, bright, dim every time you turn it off and on again. An LED tail light, which I mounted. I put an aluminum rack on the back to mount the speed controller. The bike came with these flimsy flat, plastic fenders, which I took off the back one. And that's about it. I also upgraded to a suspension seat post. And like pretty much all Chinese bikes that have disc brakes, they're never going to work coming out of the box. You're going to have to make sure that you've got the right shims and clearance in here, so that the pads don't rub. Every single Chinese bike I've ever put together, the brakes have always rubbed right out of the box, and I've had to do work on them. This one was no exception, but once they're set up, they're great. The bike, before I did the conversion, people are talking about how hard they are to ride and how heavy. And to be honest with you, it wasn't as heavy as I thought. It wasn't as hard to pedal as I thought. And it didn't have as much resistance as I thought. So So it's probably about 45-pound bike, which is portly, but look at what you're riding, right? Once I added the battery and the 1500 watt hub motor, and the rack and everything like that, this bike is probably 80 pounds, all said and done. But in unrestricted mode, disabling the state law, or whatever sensors, this bike can go between 34 and 36 miles an hour, depending on rider weight. It has lots of torque, and other than the clicking noise of the freewheel cassette, the motor is absolutely silent. If there was a monster truck that got reincarnated as a bike, this would be it. So next thing is we'll go ahead and take it for a ride. All in all, I'll put links to the battery pack, the buck converter, the rear rack. I have a phone holder for the speedometer app, which is really cool that everybody uses that one speedometer app. And the suspension seat post I got on Amazon. The shifter is completely entry level. If you are serious about wanting to ride this as a regular bike, you may want to consider upgrading the derailleur to something more functional. It's as cheap as it can get, but it works. After you just have to make sure you adjust it. The big thing here is that you're given an entire rim assembly, and you notice this is the one that's drilled with the circles to try to save some weight. So what I did was I put a band around it. Otherwise, this would just be exposed inner tube, which would be bad. So there's a protective band around the inside when I changed it out. But it is an amazingly fun bike to ride. It is so cool. I actually just bought another one of these bikes, and I'm going to leave alone and not make it electric and have this one for sale on texasnev.com, and then I'll be making another one as well. So let's get out on the road. Thanks. Bye. The other thing I want to note is the battery came with a very nice charger. It's only 2.5 amps, but they recommend no more than 5. You may want a little bit more charge current to speed up that charge time. Otherwise, it's going to be, if the battery is fully discharged, it's going to take you quite a long time to charge it back up, but it works. Other accessories in the conversion kit included the e-brake handles and the pedal assist sensor. These are required. This is required by law for a Class 3 e-bike to go to 28 miles an hour. Those are not installed yet. These are the e-brake handles. Do not provide any electric braking whatsoever. What these are, these just cut off power to the motor just in case you have a runaway motor situation. Highly unlikely, given it's a brushless controller, but I guess anything can happen. But you have the power button right at your thumb here. Anyway, so I like the black handles. I like that they're small. I didn't want these big giant silver things, but you know, if I need to put them on, I'll put them on, and that's it. Okay, well, have the camera on, turn on the battery, got my speed there. All right. Yep. Lots of torque. At this point, it's basically an electric motorcycle. Holy moly. Crazy. Wow, that's nuts. What was that? 38.4 miles an hour? That's crazy. Well, let's see how this video turned out. Bye.